Hey everyone, it's Owen here from OTech, and today I'll be unboxing the motherboard for the Ryzen build that I'm going to do. So this is based on the AMD B350 chipset, and it's from MSI in their Tomahawk variant. Now Tomahawk is basically their mid-range motherboards, but except on AMD it's actually overclockable, whereas on Intel it's basically the H series chipsets and the B series. So on Intel it's unoverclockable, but since it's AMD, AMD lets overclocking on their B350 chipset. So that's nice, and I haven't really seen any motherboard that actually says overclocking support right on the front. So that's pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, the box design is pretty simple. It looks elegant, it looks simple, and it looks nice. So it says VR ready, like it's the new marketing buzzword, I think, these days, VR ready and whatever. And Arsenal Gaming, basically their branding for gaming motherboards. And yeah, let's take a look at the back. And boom, suddenly you get a lot of information on the box itself. Military class 4, which is basically their since forever been their used word for high quality components, basically. I mean, any decent motherboard these days uses solid capacitors and other high quality components. So in my opinion, it really isn't a feature at this point in time. But yeah, there's that's cool. And more features, X boost, not sure about that. Maybe it's something with the LAN connector. And easy debug LED, which is basically telling you the boot problem if you're having problems. And also the gaming DNA LEDs, basically that's what they call it, at least. And this is also a motherboard that features USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type C. That's a mouthful. Basically USB 3.0 speed. That's what we call it since a long time ago, so let's just call it USB 3.0 speeds. And also the Type C format, so that's pretty cool. I don't think it supports Thunderbolt on it though, it's just USB Type C. And also the steel armor, and also Mystic Light extension, basically an RGB connector that you can connect to the motherboard to LED strips from Phanteks and cable mod and those kind of guys. It's the equivalent to Asus RSync, but seems like every motherboard manufacturers want to brand it their own ways. But yeah, let's take a look inside. So immediately you're greeted by the motherboard in an anti-static packaging, and inside the packaging itself is the huge ATX motherboard, and in my opinion it looks really cool. So over here is the chipset heatsink, MSI logo, and it has a really cool like brushed aluminum finish, I guess you can say. So yeah, on first look this motherboard looks really good. MSI definitely nailed it on the looks department of this motherboard. In fact, I think it beats, oops, sorry about that, it's so large it hit the tripod. Anyways, yeah, I think MSI really nailed it with this motherboard's looks. In fact, I think it looks better than some of the X370 boards, in my opinion. Although you can see the power phases aren't as high end, with what seems like just 4 phases. No, I guess it could probably be 5 phases for the CPU, or 6 phases for the CPU, and also 1 phase for the SoC portion. Although it could be 2 phase for the SoC and 5 phase for the CPU. Either way, it should be enough for some moderate overclocking. Not extreme LN2 overclocking or extremely high voltage overclocking, but it should be enough. So over here there's the 8-pin connector as usual. 2 large heatsinks again, which looks really nice with that like gunmetal gray, and also a red accent that's tastefully applied, not too much red, and it doesn't look gaudy unlike some of their GPU designs, which in my opinion looks really ugly. So over here we have the 4-pin fan connector. This is presumably for the CPU. And also over here there's another fan connector, and also over here there's 2 more fan connectors, and also on the bottom edge here another 4-pin fan connector, and also another one over here. So that brings a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 fan connectors. Plenty enough for an ATX case, which this motherboard needs to be installed properly, since this is an ATX motherboard. So over here there's 4 RAM slots. These are DDR4 memory slots, and it is powered by a single phase power supply, VRM design. And over here there's a 24-pin connector as usual, a right angle USB 3.0 front panel header, 4 SATA slots, SATA connectors. Not a whole lot, but since this is a high-end motherboard and it has an M.2 slot over here, it's okay. I think that's enough. It's probably more than enough than anyone ever need. And on the bottom there's the front panel stuff, USB 2.0 front panel, also a COM port, and also an audio connector. And one thing that's interesting is that this motherboard doesn't actually have an AMD RGB connector anywhere on the board itself. I'm guessing it's because it's a cheap board. It's only over here they have an RGB connector. So if you have the Ryzen 1700 rate cooler, or the whatever it's called, you'll have to route the cable over here to the bottom, instead of some of the more high-end boards which has the RGB connector somewhere around here or on the top. So yeah, I mean the heatsink design looks pretty cool, and I think this is a pretty cool looking board overall. Now for the I/O ports, there's 2 USB 2.0 connectors, a PS2 combined connector, 1 VGA port, 1 DVI port, an HDMI port, the USB Type-C 3.0 port, and also 3 USB 3.0 port, a LAN port, and the audio in and outs. So yeah, that's basically it. There's nothing much at the back. You can just see clearer about the motherboard's finish. It's basically matte black. Looks really nice. This is a really nice motherboard, and it isn't priced too expensively. So if you are not looking to use 2 GPUs, or not looking to overclock the CPU too hard, this will probably be a good choice for your build. So yeah, I'll take a look at the performance of this motherboard on my upcoming Ryzen build. So for now, let's just take a look at the accessories. I almost forgot about that. There's the warranty card for Indonesia, and also a whole lot of accessories like the back panel I/O cover, which is black. Looks really nice. 2 SATA connectors, like a DVD CD drive for the drivers, which you should throw away and download the latest from MSI's website. Quick install guide, a thank you letter, and also some memory module installation guide and a user guide. So yeah, that's it for this unboxing. Hope you enjoyed my video. Please leave a like if you do, and click subscribe to see more of my videos. Thanks for watching.